exactly. Let's roll into the show now, though. We'll start.
Oh yeah, we have to do a whole show. That's right.
Yeah,
Fuck. Okay, I'm here.
I
All right,
forget
cool.
every week we like talk to each other. I'm like, oh shit, like we actually have to
We're
talk to
just
each other.
like chit chatting, and there's like, oh yeah, we actually have to do stuff.
Yeah. Greg, let's start with you, buddy.
Ooh, ooh. All right. Yeah. So, not like a really. I guess what's the worst game that like? That's the wrong phrasing. What's one game that everyone liked and you just could never finish or like even get into? Like you saw like the great reviews, you saw like you wanted to see what other people saw in it, but you couldn't play it. It just wasn't something you were able to do, and like I
I
guess a
mean,
little bit about why.
I guess I'm gonna probably catch flack for it, but the first go around that I had at The Last of Us, I did not fucking like it. I like played it for like 2 hours, and I was like, this is dumb. I don't like this game.
Did
I
something?
didn't
Narrative
really.
driven,
I didn't. I don't know. Like I guess
too
at the
good.
time, like I was at
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah, it was too good. And I
Too
was like,
much candy.
I don't know, man. But no, I played it for like a solid 2 hours, and it didn't really get its hooks into me. I didn't really feel like I wanted to complete it, so I just popped the disc out and played Skate 3 for like 5 hours. But yeah, it was one of the games where I was just like, I didn't really see. I just couldn't see what other people were like raving about. Like it just felt like just kind of like another game. But then like recently, I just played through it, like I guess for the first time or whatever you want to call it. But I played through it and actually beat it and played like all the way through, and I'm happy that I did, and I do understand it now. But
I think
that's
part of that game.
like a half answer to your question.
Yeah.
But
I feel like part of that game was like a little bit intimidating because there's like a really sad story and like a pretty desolate sort of scenery.
mhm.
And I don't think I would have gotten through it if I wasn't playing it with like a friend because like it was like a lot to take in and like it could be
I love that
frustrating at
game.
time. I don't know.
I don't know. I get it. It's definitely a time and place, uh, sort of thing. Um, you can't watch Lifetime every day. Like, you can't, as much as I love
Yeah.
watching all of the fine offerings that Lifetime, the channel for women, has, like, I can't watch it every day. So, like, I mean, or, let's phrase this better. You don't want to watch the Avengers or Captain America every day, even though those things are reviewed well. Like, there's a time and a place. So, as
Yeah.
with every game, like I sit there and it's like, what kind of game am I in the mood for? And if you're not in the mood for The Last of Us, it's not going to be for you. Um, when you said this, it's something that I always end up talking about. But for me, it's any of the Dark Souls games or Dark Souls like games, specifically Bloodborne, because that's one that every time on Reddit or anywhere, everyone's like, I got a PS4, what game should I pick up? Everyone, the top thing is always like,
Everyone says it.
pick up Bloodborne, man. You got to play it, and yada yada yada. And then
Mhm.
I always end up in some dumb argument because I'm like, make sure you watch a bunch on it and know that it, like, figure out
You're
if
not
you
gonna
like
win.
those types of like
Have
Dark
that
Souls.
expectation.
Yeah, figure out if you like the Dark Souls types of games before you jump into this because it's cool, but like I don't personally like it very much. And a lot of the times people yell at me and be like, "No, you just don't understand the gameplay and how satisfying it is to like beat a boss and yada yada yada." And it's just like, no, I understand. I've picked it up and tried to play it 3 separate times, and I've beat several bosses. And every time I beat a boss, I'm just like, oh, okay. Then I'm like, and there's like no story, and they're like, oh, there's so much story. You can read all the lore. Like, there's all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, but now I have to like hunt it all down. I don't. It's just
Yeah.
like I don't need everything served to me on a plate, but sometimes it's just like, all right, like I'm just really
I
not
mean,
into this. Or you,
does Bloodborne even tell you what the controls are? Like Dark Souls
sometimes
3, like
not
I know
really.
for sure, like you just like go in and like it just starts you and you're like, yep, here you go.
Yeah, well, I
Play
mean,
the
like
game.
Bloodborne once, there was this whole thing I went through, like trying to get through this door and trying to find a way around, and I was stuck, and I finally looked it up, and I had to buy a key from some merchant that, like, I had no idea even really existed. And
Yep.
I was just like, oh, okay, so I was just supposed to just randomly come across this, like, sorry, that's bad game design. Like, I'm sorry,
There's
it is.
there's two linear, and then the other extreme is fucking do whatever you want. Like figure it out, I guess. You know, totally.
And also like everyone's like, oh, and then you got to figure out how to beat the bosses and blah blah blah. I'm like, I'll tell you how to beat every single Dark Souls boss. Roll, hit, roll, hit. Drink a potion, roll, hit. Figure out when they're attacking, roll to get the invincible frames, hit, roll, hit. Oh my god, they're dead. Like drink more like it's just like okay, like I don't really understand. Like I get you learn how they attack and the timing of that, but it just feels like uber repetitive to me, and I'll probably catch flack for that. But I just don't like it, man. It's just not for me. But I don't want to fault anyone. Let me go out and say I don't want to fault anyone for liking those games, because I think the environments are really cool. Like I love the like world design and the like in the enemy, like the way everything looks, how everything's like all wet and gross, and I just think it's a really cool, what was it? It's Lovecraftian setting, and I wish I liked it. I just don't. I saw some really cool Bloodborne cosplays at PAX though. They're really cool. But yeah, that's my enjoyment of the game.
That's definitely one of those games that was not meant for me either. I suck at video games. I really do. I'm awful at like 98% of video games, and the 2%'s Hearthstone and like Super Mario. And like, you take those away from me, I'm just another idiot hoping that pressing the wrong buttons works. Like,
just button mashing.
Yeah, just like you play a fighting game, it's like, how fast can I hit these fucking buttons, and like just gotta hope.
Oh yeah, that. And there's people that get like super into them with like the combo, like the fucking like 10 button combos and shit. And you're just like, fuck, dude, I'm just gonna hit the punch button every fucking time. Like, I'll whip your ass. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't need a combo.
See, that's why those games are great though, because they favor newbies who can just bash buttons and guys who get really into it.
Right.
You know.
And you can get enjoyment out of like either way, right? Like you don't have to like master the game to have fun with them.
Yeah. I remember playing Tekken 3 on a demo disc in like fucking like 2000 or something. Went to Pizza Hut, got a demo disc. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Pizza Hut, wow.
I just remember playing Tekken 3 and I was like, holy shit, like this looks like real life. And I just remember playing as like that Jamaican guy who would just like spin around, like he was like basically dancing. I still have a
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure DVD from Pizza Hut.
Jeez, man.
Wow. That's a deep cut. That's a very deep cut. So Greg, is your answer Dark Souls games also, or is there something else?
No, for me, I mean, it's not just one game. It's generally open world games, but I guess this one isn't as open world. But I never ever finished Mass Effect, any of them.
Really? I haven't even played them. I've never even played one.
August, like back when we lived at
Logan's just shaking his head.
No, I haven't played them either.
Oh, you haven't played? I thought you were like, oh man, I'm so fucking disappointed.
No.
Cheese would be shaking his head.
Yeah,
no, he is. He is. He hates
back
me.
when August and I lived together, I kept getting killed by this when I was in like this Mass Effect mission where I was supposed to be a truck or something.
Oh, dude, you're talking about the Mako, dude.
It auto saved me there, and that brings me to Fallout New Vegas. I shot this lady's dog, so I thought that'd be funny, and that was where my autosave point was, and she's really powerful. So every time I load into that game after like 2 hours of gameplay, it's just this woman just going crazy on me for killing her dog. And I just can't get any farther in it, and I just don't care enough to play the 2 hours again. So
yeah,
pretty much any game.
Well, you're talking about
making autosaves.
You're probably talking about the Mako in the first Mass Effect, which everyone shat on it. Like, that part was like that stuff was terrible. Where you're trying to kill all the Geth. Like I remember your struggles with that. It was,
and the next save point's not for like 2 hours of gameplay, so you're just kind of stuck.
Yeah. I don't know. I the first one, I always tell people when I suggest that they play the series, it's like the first Mass Effect is gonna be a grind, so just kind of like deal with it. I'm sorry, unless you really don't want to play it. The second one has the ability, like you can do this thing where you like make the choices in the first one that matter, and then go from the second one on, and that's the way I sometimes suggest people to play it, because Mass Effect 2 is a really, really good game, and they like that game. I mean, there was definitely stories that did the sort of like suicide mission, we got this whole team together thing, let's execute now formula, but Mass Effect 2 kind of popularized that. Like you kind of see that in everything now. Like The Witcher 3
Yeah.
did it. Like Horizons, I think, is headed that direction. Like all sorts, it's like, oh, all these people I met over the way, I developed these relationships, and now they're gonna help me in the final mission, like that stuff. But Mass Effect 2 did it for like not first, but they did it really well, and the relationships he developed during that game are really fun and rewarding, and it's just a great game. 3 was good too. End aside, like everyone was pissed about the ending. I don't know. It didn't really outrage me as much as it outraged the whole internet, because the internet just gets mad at whatever they can. It's just they just got to turn their gun at something else. But
yeah, you get like 3 people on the internet against something, and it turns into like 3 million people against something.
Right.
Like that's all it takes is just that small little spark.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I totally understand how Mass Effect series, like there's enough wonkiness there in Mass Effect that I can see how that would elude some people. Especially if you get in a down area where you're not doing a lot of mission stuff and you're just running around doing random bullshit in the galaxy that you feel like you're not progressing. I could see how you'd put that down. Anyway, Logan, is there anything you tried to play that people loved and you just didn't like?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is like Skyrim and Oblivion.
Oh, really?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit, dude.
Which is really weird though.
I'm there with you.
It's really weird because I loved Fallout.
Really?
Oh gosh.
So I don't even know why like the medieval Fallout didn't pull me in, but for some reason it just never did. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I just got so much more of a story from like Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm.
You start playing, you hear Liam Neeson's voice, and like you're in, man. And I don't know, it seemed like Skyrim and Oblivion.
Liam Neeson sells, man.
I didn't get that much of like a story from them. I don't know. I know I'd probably love them if I spent more time.
If you gave it another shot, yeah.
I will say,
Yeah.
after I played Morrowind, and then when Oblivion came out, I was like super hyped, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna be so sick. The story's really short comparatively. Like Morrowind's story was fucking really robust. Like I remember spending like just like hours and hours a day, like trying to figure out what the fuck I was supposed to do next. Like, but yeah, Oblivion was really short, and the story was kind of meh. It was like, it was okay.
Yeah.
The Oblivion Gates.
The
cool.
thing that was cool about Oblivion was like the open world, honestly. It was like one of the Bethesda thumbprint for open world games kind of started there. I mean, Morrowind had its own way as well, but Oblivion was like the first of that generation where you like when you first escaped the prison, you walked out and you're like, holy shit,
Now you can go anywhere.
It started that whole quote, you see that mountain, you can go to that mountain. It started that whole quote unquote, like sort of thing where you're like, really? And you're like, yeah. And then you walk over there and there's like a wolf and you stab him. You're like, oh, I got wolf skin and that's worth 1 coin. Cool. Skyrim, I definitely understand.
I feel like World of Warcraft like did that well for me because I played a ton of WoW and I think, yeah, I think that just does the open world thing just so much huge, bigger that I guess Oblivion's open world wasn't as like striking to me.
Yes, it was like more. It was like same old, and then when you're in WoW, obviously you're playing with a bunch of people, so like maybe it felt a little empty to you. I could see that.
I was just lonely.
Oh
yeah,
I could
alone.
definitely see that.
Yeah. Well, and then also in Skyrim, I think Skyrim was a fun game. Like I loved the shit out of it because I love those games where I could just sit there and just like zone out for the whole day and just get lost in the world. But like there was definitely a lot left to be desired in that game, especially in the way the quests were made. Like everything was a fetch quest and it always told you like basically exactly where to go. So like a lot of that sense of discovery wasn't there. Well, it was there, but like after a while it became stale because you're like, oh, another one of these places. Like everything started looking samey. But still a really cool game, I thought. But I can see the criticism is there, and for good reason.
I think it's a lot harder just in general with like this type of topic, I think open world games kind of like lend themselves to have like a pretty tough engagement sort of level. Just because like it's one thing to make an incredibly looking massive map, it's another thing to fill it.
Yeah.
And if you don't fill it with something that makes you feel purposeful, I don't care enough to stick around. And that's what happens with me with like games like Skyrim. If I can't if I have to create my own storyline, it's gonna suck because I'm horrible at that, and I just won't find a reason to
Greg's
care
a
about
bad
the character I'm
storyteller.
playing. I'm an awful storyteller. Like my story is always like, well, I was playing in this wasteland for 2 hours.
He's gonna tell us a story
killed
now.
the dog and just kept dying. You know, like that's my story. It's like I was 2 hours into my time on this planet in Wasteland, and I killed the dog and got killed because of it. And I think that's pretty fitting for me in Fallout New Vegas.
Does that encapsulate your personality?
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, guys, be sure, this is weird with you here, be sure to check out Logi.io and support the creator of our intro song, and be sure to like, share, subscribe to this video, and our channel on YouTube, Grenades and Goblins. We appreciate all the support we get. Check out those vlogs, tell us what you think, comment, tell your mom, all that good stuff.
Time to go to bed.
Time to go to bed. All right, that was good. Episode 12, everyone. Have a great show.
Signing off.
Yeah, signing off. It's bedtime. Signing off for everyone else. I guess we'll just start that as like the first topic of the show here today. We'll just briefly talk about PAX. I know, Greg, you've got some questions for us that we can rattle off. Pretty awesome